Hi, I'm Kristen, you're watching Kristincooks, and tonight I have another little recipe to share with you for dinner. So this one tonight is a new recipe to me and my family. We haven't had this before, and it's called Poblano sour cream chicken enchiladas. I saw this on Pinterest and I just was excited to make it. So first thing I'm going to put about 8 ounces of sour cream, which is half of this container. It's full. It's 16 ounces. And I'm going to put half of it into my food processor. And I'm also going to be putting in a poblano pepper, which I put it on the grill outside to get it nice and smoky and charred. And then after it was done out there, I took it inside, let it sit for a minute, and the skin just kind of really separated really easily from the flesh. And then I opened it up, scraped out all the seeds. You don't need those. And then whatever skin just kind of came off, I just peeled it off because it's fine. We don't need it. I did start the pepper inside though in a pan, but I just didn't like the way it was going, so I put it outside on the grill. So in the meantime, while I was doing the pepper, I was also cooking the chicken. You need about 2 cups of chicken, and I just wanted to just do it really quick inside in a skillet. And I have about a breast and a half here. So after the chicken is all done cooking, I'm going to shred it with a fork here. And this chicken turned out really good. It was really tender and juicy, and it was delicious. And I'm going to save all the drippings from the chicken cooking in the pan, in the skillet, and then I'm going to build the sauce in there in a little bit, as you're going to see me do here. But in the meantime, I'm just going to shred the chicken here. This recipe is really, really good. I really enjoy making enchiladas, and I've made enchiladas on my channel here many, many times. And this is just another variation, and a good one too. So I have probably about 3 cups of chicken actually, but it's okay. We're going to use all of it. So add to the sour cream here, I'm going to throw in my poblano pepper, put the lid on, and just puree it, let it go until it's pretty smooth, you know, with the pepper. And it's doing it on the grill, I must say, give it the sauce a really deep, a smoky flavor to it. And I'm really glad that I decided to do the pepper on the barbecue instead of just inside in a skillet, because I think it just gave it even more depth of flavor and smokiness and just more yumminess to my sauce. So I'm just really glad that I did it that way. You don't have to. You can also just kind of char the poblano in the oven if you want to do that instead. That's the way it's written in the recipe here on Pinterest. So now I'm getting the filling ready, which is the chicken and cheese and red onion. You can use any kind of onion you want. I just enjoy a red onion, so I put that in there. And 1 cup of Monterey Jack cheese. I have a little Colby mixed in there also, but use whatever cheese you want, or you could just use regular Monterey Jack too. It's up to you. And just a FYI though, I did go in and I put more cheese into the filling. And another side note, after I've eaten this meal, I think that it could have actually used a little bit of that sauce in the filling here, just to kind of really tie in the poblano flavor. So if I did that, that would mean that I would have to make more of the sauce. So maybe I would not exactly double it, but maybe just add just a half a cup more of whatever, you know. So here's the skillet that I cooked the chicken in. I'm throwing in 3 tablespoons of butter into the pan, letting that melt down. And then the recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of flour. But I'm going to use this masa flour because this is what I had in my pantry. And it's a corn flour. And I really it's going to just really tie in the corn flavors because I'm going to use yellow corn tortillas for the enchiladas. So I decided to use masa flour instead of regular. So I'm going to just whisk together the melted butter and the flour and just let it kind of cook together for a few minutes. Just to get rid of that raw flour taste, and let it just kind of get nice and a little bit golden. And because we have this skillet has leftover chicken bits in it, the color of the sauce is going to be a little bit deeper, just a FYI, than you'll notice in the recipe, because I just did it differently, so it's going to look a little differently. I also added in some garlic powder, and I'm going to add in a little garlic salt a little bit later. This is 1.5 cups of chicken stock that I'm just going to whisk in and let it bubble up, and it's going to start to thicken almost immediately here. And I'm also scraping up a lot of that extra chicken flavor from the bottom of the pan because that's just going to add a lot of flavor. It's just a good way to get extra goodness into your sauce or whatever you're making. And anyway, but I really like this recipe. This is really good. I'm going to make this again, and I'm definitely going to add sauce into the filling with the chicken and the cheese and the onion. I just think it just needs a little bit of something more in the inside of the enchiladas too. Because, yeah, it just does, in my opinion. So as you can see here, it's a deeper color. It's like a dark brown color instead of it'd be just a pale color if I didn't use my chicken pan. So then to the sauce, I'm going to add in the sour cream and poblano mixture from my food processor. And I'm going to mix it all together, and it's obviously going to create a nice creamy sauce with lots of extra flavor from the poblano. And it was just really good. I really enjoyed the sauce. I know the color is like brown and, it's not very exciting to look at, I guess. But full of flavor. It's really good. I think you should try this recipe. If you like enchiladas, if you're new to making enchiladas, no matter, this is a great recipe. It's easy to follow. This fed my family of 4, no problem. Actually, I think I'm the only one that had 2 of the enchiladas. Everybody else had 1. And even one child had a half of one because she wasn't excited about this dinner. But anyway, it's okay. I'm not complaining because I have leftovers for my lunch tomorrow. So yay for me. So I tasted the sauce and I adjusted the seasoning. As you can tell, I just added a little bit more salt to it. It had enough spicy flavor with the poblano. And after I added more salt, it was really great and perfect and ready to go. So I'm going to start building my enchiladas now. I have my oven preheated to 350. I didn't mention that. I have a 9x13 baking dish here, and I added about a cup, maybe a little less, of the sauce onto the bottom of the dish. This will help keep your enchiladas from sticking, which is good. So then, and we're going to reserve the rest of the sauce is going to go on top of the enchiladas. So I have some large yellow corn tortillas here. And I just nuked them in the microwave really quick just to warm them a little bit so that they don't crack when I try to fill them. So the recipe calls for a fourth a cup of the chicken filling into each enchilada, into each tortilla, I should say. I ended up doing more than that, and I just quit using the measuring cup there. I was just like, I'll just eyeball it because it's better. And I'm going to add a little bit more cheese. I didn't show that, but I just felt it needed some more cheese. I didn't think a cup was enough to stretch in with all this chicken in here. So I did add more cheese. So I just roll them up and then place them seam side down, as you can see here, in the dish. This will keep them from rolling open. And then I'm just going to keep just filling just like that. Really easy. This makes 8 enchiladas, I should say. 8 enchiladas. And it was perfect. I thought it was really good. Truth be told, I did add just a little bit more sour cream after they came out of the oven. Just to my serving, though. Everybody else was fine with what it was. So here I'm just pouring on the rest of the delicious sauce. That is really, really good. This was a good recipe. I enjoyed it. I really don't cook with poblanos very often. I don't know why. I just don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good vegetable though. I like it. It's not too spicy. Because, you know, the smaller the pepper, the spicier or the hotter it is. If you didn't know that, it's a little fun fact there. I'd say it's a cross between a bell pepper and a jalapeno, I think. Because it's spicier than a bell pepper, but not as hot as a jalapeno. So it's kind of in between. Is a good description, I think. So anyway, I'm jabbering, sorry. So I'm just going to top the enchiladas with the remaining pepper jack cheese. I love it. So good. And then I'm just going to pop it in the oven. The recipe says 20 to 25 minutes. I did check it after 20 minutes and it needed a little bit more. It just wasn't, it didn't have enough color on top when it was done. Like no, you know, golden bits of cheese and, you know, it just needed 5 more minutes. So that's what I did and it turned out perfect. So uncovered, 25 minutes, 350, and dinner is done. I also served some, I'm going to do some refried beans here. As you can tell, I'm going to put those in along with the enchiladas. And on the stove there, I did have some Mexican rice cooking too. And here they are all done. As you can tell, they were perfect. They were in the oven for just the right amount of time. And here is my dinner. I loved it. It was really good. I'm going to link this recipe in the description for you. I hope you make it. And thank you so much for subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.